Good morning friends, I'm Celesta Matthews from Karane University, and today I'm going to show you how to make a program that is based upon the use of classes, constructors and making of objects. So here is the question. Write a menu-driven application to maintain the employee payroll details using C++. Your application must contain the following functionalities. Use constructors, getter and setter functions. A. For each employee, your application must have the details such as name, employee ID, department, designation, experience, basic pay, DA, grade pay, personal pay, I-tax, professional tax and EPF. And the second part is get the employee details from the user. And third part is in the menu give the user the options to add, edit, delete or display the employee details. So first of all, I'm going to declare a class that is the employee class. Okay, and here what I'm going to do is I'll have constructors and I'll have all these member variables in the class. Now I'm not declaring any functions inside the class, so all these member variables need to be declared as public, and as you know, a constructor is always declared as public. So later on in the program, I'm going to give the menu which is which will have the options of add, edit, delete or display. Now delete basically means I'll just convert all what the data the user has entered into null or zero type. So I'll go ahead with the program. Here I'm just including the header files. This is my class name, that is employee. In public I'm declaring string name, string employee ID, string department and string designation. Employee ID can be either taken as integer or as a string, because might be it is an alphanumeric number or something. Now the rest I have float EXP, that is experience, float basic pay, GP, DA, PP, that is your personal pay, and personality pay, I-tax, professional tax and EPF. Okay. Now I have declared a constructor over here which is initializing name, employee ID, department and designation to null because it is a string, and the rest of the values which are of float type, it is initializing it as 0.0. Now I come on to the next part. Here I end my class with a semicolon. So now later on I'm declaring the object, that is employee of 100. Now here what concept I'm using is I'm declaring an object which is an array and it has 100 elements in that. Now I'll ask the user how many employees do you want, and I'll take that and store it in num. Whenever I'm taking input or I'm trying to display it, I'll just run the loop from 0 up to num, not up to 100. So later on, if I want to even add any value onto that, I can just increase the value of num. So, but the maximum size will be 100 only. Here I have declared num as a global variable because it has to be referred all through the different functions and all. I don't need to pass it, I just declared it as global. Now I come on to my main method in ch. Now what I am doing is, please enter the number of employees, and I am storing it in num. The ch variable is to take the input from the user after the menu is shown to the user. Now we move on to the next part. Here. Okay, I have asked the user to enter the number of employees. Now I am taking the data of each employee. So what I am doing is I am running the loop from 0 up till num, that is the number of employees that are there in the company, and I am calling the function add at I. I is the number, that is in num I have different values. It is an array type. So first, if the number is 2, first the employee 0 will be given its values, and then the employee number 1 will be given its values. Okay, I'll show you what the add function contains later on in the program. Now while 1, this is actually an infinite loop. Okay, so later on I go into it. Here I'm displaying the menu. 1 is to add, 2 is to edit, 3 is to delete and 4 is to display. I'm saving it in ch as I told you earlier, and I'm using a switch statement. Here add num++. Now here what will happen? Num plus plus means the number is actually increased. If the user tells that I want only 2 employees, now later on he says that no, I want 3 employees. So simply the number has to be increased. Now the next part is second, that is edit function. I'm calling it delete and okay, fine, just a minute. Okay, fourth part, that is display, and default statement is I'm using invalid input and then just exit statement so that the whole program is exited. Now here comes the end of my main method. Now I'll show you what the add function contains. It is taking a value that is int I. It is in the function call I'm passing some argument. So that value will be copied into I. This is what it is called by value. So now whatever value, like I ask the employee name, and that will be E at I. That is, if it is a 0th employee's ID, then E at 0 dot name. In the same way, all the inputs are taken over here. Fine. After that, you have the edit function. Here, what I need to do is I need to compare. I need to ask the user which employee number do you want to edit. He'll give me the employee ID, and I need to check that this ID belongs to which employee. So for that, I have taken a string sn. Here, cout, enter the employee ID, and cin, I'm storing it into sn. I have taken a flag, that is, if I don't find the value, I need to have a output for that. Now I have come into the loop, and this is my compare statement here. So this is sn.compare in the bracket e at I dot employee ID. That means I'm comparing this sn string to employee ID string. If that comes to 0, that means it is true, and then I'll call add at I. Fine, that is, again I'll take all the inputs again from the user. Now cout at I don't basically require it. Okay. Flag becomes 1 and break. Now there is a chance that the employee ID that the user has entered is not there anywhere in the list. So I can give a condition that if flag is equal to 0, then what I have to do is cout the number is not found. Now I'll come on to the delete section. Here the same thing, I'm doing it all over again. That is, I have taken flag, I have taken string. Here again I'm comparing it, and what here I'm doing is I'm initializing all the values to null or 0. Fine. Now the next part comes is my display statement. Here I have again the display part, that is from 0 to num. It will display all the values from A to Z, everything. I'll show you how this program works. Okay, there's some error. Why did it? Just a minute. Okay, there was just a space which I put in over here by mistake. Now I'll come on. Okay, I'll show you how the program works. Please enter the number of employees. I'll give 2. Employee name, ID, department, CSE, designation, COE, experience 4 years, basic pay 23800, rate fee. I have entered the value for the first employee. Now this is the value for the second employee. Name, ID, department. Okay, I'll give a different department. Designation, experience for 6 years. the value even for the second employee. I'll just show you how this looks like. Okay, here it is. These are the details of the first employee and these are the details of the second employee. Now let's see what else can be done. Here, I'll just show how to add another one. Okay, please enter the employee name. ID. Department. Designation. Okay, I can give in any value, doesn't matter. Okay, here what I can have is, I can have edit. Okay, suppose I want to edit the same employee, that is, I'll give UR15 CS 201, employee name. Okay, department, designation, experience. Now I can display you the details. See, this is the last one. Okay, and here are all the details. Now what I can do is I can delete it. I'm saying which employee ID you want to delete. You are 15 CS 201. Okay, now I'll display it. See. So this was the end of my program. Hope you understand.